All right, so but about to go lift real quick. All right, let's get to it. So workout was pretty good. Um, I will say that I kind of found myself feeling that I didn't lift as best as I could do or usually do because I wasn't in my home turf, if you will. I wasn't at my powerlifting gym from back in my hometown, which I found that I lift the best in. Um, but what I did find out was I was able to kind of push myself even though things were kind of going bad. Uh, but yeah, so that was not horrible. But I will say I am not sure if this is even going to touch the light of day because I very much so am unsure about why I feel so compelled to be writing this kind of or not writing, but like talking about this kind of stuff. Um, what I will say though is that I am going to do it and see where it goes because in my head I am no influencer. I don't want to say I'm a nobody, but this is not my realm at all. But in all honesty, if I can relate or you can relate to me or I can help somebody in any way, shape, or form by this, then by all means, one person helped is all that really matters. Um, but no, I am have a full time day job. I'm a power lifter on the side. I enjoy doing that. Uh, just regular working guy, regular white collar, if you will. But when it comes down to things, I am very much so like everybody else. I've gone through stuff. I have stuff going on right now. I'll probably go through stuff later on in life, and that's how it is. But I do, if I can, talk and help somebody through a certain situation like I always wanted, needed, and sometimes had, then I really hope that this finds the right person or the right crowd or right ear if it's a singular person and gives you a little bit of comfort that there's a couple of things that I've learned and I'm not too old, but if you're 17, 18 feeling a certain way, it's okay. It'll get better. And what I will say is when it comes down to things being hard or feeling like you're overstressed or you're anxious about the future, you're depressed about the past, it's okay. And the thing is that you have to kind of learn that worrying about the future and being sorrowful or being to a point very focused on the past of something that you possibly did or didn't do, you're affecting your present. And it is not in a good way that you're affecting your present. But what I will say is when it comes down to it, I would say that you need to not only focus on the present, but take it one step at a time. Because you can have your moments where you're thinking about something in the past and it can be good, bad, beautiful, ugly. It can be an open wound, it can be a scar. It's okay to linger on it a little bit. That's what humans do. But you also can't be on it for so long that it deteriorates how you think, how you feel, and overall just absolutely kills you. What I will say though is that it can go the opposite way, where you're so stressed about your future that you are legitimately petrified to move. And that is, in fact, also not good because you need to be able to do what you need to do. You need to be able to be in the present and do what you need to do in the present. And that kind of goes the same way in the sense of when you're working towards a goal or you have a milestone in mind. That's great. That's great to have a goal. That's great to have a milestone. That's great to have even stepping stones to a bigger goal. But you also need to make sure that you're not so focused on the goal that you miss the reason and the road to the goal. Because the thing is that people will focus so heavily on the goal that they forget or they miss the path there. Because the path there is that's what gets you better. That's what gets you to the point where you're ready for your goal, where you're at your goal. But that's where the growth is. When you're running a marathon, the finish line is amazing. The finish line is beautiful. It means that you completed it. But that's what people see. What people don't see is the miles you ran in training, the food you had to take in, the water you had to take in, the studies that went into it, the looking for the marathon, the actual marathon itself where you're running and you're having to go through mile after mile, pain after pain. You may have had hardships during that time where maybe you twisted your ankle, maybe you had cramp ups. But that's the thing, is that that's what trains you the most. That's what gets that mentality to where it needed to be for you to reach that goal. That was the important part. The goal is great, but the finish line isn't where the growth is. The race, the training, the nutrition, that's where the growth is. And it's the same thing in life. I mean, take a job, for example, or schooling. Your test and that high score and getting that diploma or getting that promotion, it's great. That's really good. But that's not where the growth is. The growth is working your butt off to get there, working your absolute hardest to be what you needed to be, to do what you needed to do to get that end result. You deserve that promotion from the work you put in. And the work you put in was the path to your success. And that works in every way, shape, and form, everywhere you go. And that's the thing, is that you'll have a lot of people tell you, oh, I got it because of luck. Or, though they got it because of luck. Well, that does play a part. And especially when, you're looking at pro athletes or something like that. Yeah, there's a genetic lottery to it for sure. But you know what? You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not obsessed, you're going to get beat out by the dude that's obsessed. You're going to get the guy that has the drive beat the natural talent. That's where the hard work, the skill comes into play over the talent. So I would just say, if you're going through hard times and you're having a rough day or a rough week, or you know what, maybe it hasn't been your year, it's going to be okay. You're going to get through it. You're going to be a better person by the end of it. Right now, you're on that trail to the finish line. And whether that's you're in training or whether you literally just twisted your ankle on that marathon run, you're going to get through it and you're going to get to the finish line. Because let me tell you this. You have 100% success rate of getting through everything that you've gone through. Think about that. You have never lost once. There's not been one thing that you have lost at, because you have gotten through every single thing life has thrown at you. That is something that you need to keep in the back of your mind at all times. Because when you are having a hardship and you're like, I'm not sure if I can do this, you know what? You've done it every time. 100% success rate. Every single time. What makes this any different? And if there's I'm going through this and it's different, or I'm going through that, then that's an extra skill that you're picking up. That's an extra tool that you have in your bag for future reference. You have to very much so think about it like it is you learning. That's what life is. This is your first time living your life. This is your first time being a teenager or an adult or anything like that. This is your first time breathing. You're going to make mistakes. Think about it. The first time that you were either lifting, or the first time that you were maybe playing a video game, or the first time you were trying to do a homework assignment, you probably stumbled. But then when you had the repetition and you did it over and over, you got good at it. It clicked. It made sense. It's the same thing with life. You can go after that finish line over and over and over again, and you can stumble. But the thing is that you can always try again. You can always do it again. Because the biggest thing that you want is success, and that road is going to make you better no matter how far you get. And that's what I'll say is, when it comes time for situations and all of a sudden it's getting hard, or it's just feeling like that you're towards the end and you can't get through it and you can't do it, you've succeeded 100% of the time. You've gotten through everything that you've gotten through 100% success rate. You being able to do anything is a miracle in itself. So when you think of chances, just because the chances are low doesn't mean it's impossible. And that's the thing, is that I've had a couple of those moments where, well, chances are low, but it worked out. The biggest one right now would be my job. I mean, I probably applied to 70 plus places. Got 2 responses. One of them was a yes, one of them was a no. But the yes that I got, if I told you how I got it, it would sound ridiculous. Because how I got this job was, I knew somebody at my college who was in the business office of success, who had a prior person who graduated from my college who worked in the department of the job that was being listed in the company that I was going for. And I sat down with her and talked with her about the job, and that sounded great. And she said, okay, I'll act as an internal reference for you. And because of that, I got the job, because they do not take just out of college people. It made no sense on paper. There was no way that I should have gotten that job, but I did. And in a sense, I beat the odds for it. So that just goes to show, even just a regular dude like me can have a chance, can have a moment where, just because it is such a low chance, and it is so out there, doesn't mean you won't get it. Doesn't mean you won't succeed. It just means you got to dig your heels in and try a little harder. I think that's my last piece of advice is, if the chances are low but you want it bad enough, go for it. Because the thing is that you will miss every shot you don't take, and you learn from every shot that you do take. So that's where I'll leave it. Hopefully, if this gets out there, there's at least one person that this helped. But until next time, peace out, guys.